For more on this, I'm now joined by political analyst Ebrahim Harvey. Thank you so much for your time. We do appreciate it. I'm sure you heard parts of our reporter's report there yesterday when we had Fikile Mbalula saying that they are ready to commence tomorrow with the rest of their conference, given that they were unable to do so last year, December. But what is your assessment of all of this? I mean, the fact that the ANC could not conclude its conference because of logistical issues, it doesn't necessarily paint a picture of a party that has its ducks in a row, does it?
No, Heidi, thanks for having me, and good afternoon to your viewers. No, it doesn't at all, and you put it rather too mildly, that there was, administrative slowness at Nasrec. I said it already, many times. It was administrative chaos, disorder and functionality at arguably the most important national conference of the ANC in post-apartheid South Africa. That is what has happened. But there are more serious problems. You must remember, the meat of the conference is what they couldn't conclude. Policy resolutions, constitutional amendments, reports from the commissions and decisions on those debates and discussions. Nothing did you get. So that is why they were going to actually pull this off on tomorrow, on the 5th. And I think when they looked at what they had to do and cover, it went over to 2 days. Now, can you imagine, Heidi? They have 1 day thereafter, the Saturday. And then the ANC's January 8th statement of Sunday. I mean, something is going to suffer. Whether we'll see tomorrow when the resumption of the ANC's conference takes place, how it goes, and how January 8th, very importantly, goes. But the ANC is sitting with a combination of very, very serious problems. And this Fikile Mbalula, I've been watching him honestly. The man suffers from a false and exaggerated triumphalism because he got the post of General Secretary. Well, it's the nerve center of the ANC and so on. But I mean, how he dealt with the media yesterday was really scandalous. Let me give you one example. What he doesn't do, which is going to prove a major headache for the ANC, I can guarantee you, let Parliament reopen and you'll see it. Did you see what he did with the ANC's Integrity Commission report? Heidi, let me tell you quickly what has happened. It's a big lie and manipulation that's going on by the ANC, and I won't be surprised it's got Ramaphosa's signature behind it. The Integrity Commission was supposed to provide the report public before the National Conference. It failed to. Then it said, no, we will do it at the conference. And now you heard Fikile yesterday, nothing to do. He said to the media explicitly, we are not going to deal. So there's going to be no Integrity Commission report, tomorrow. And for the remainder of the conference, it is a major problem. And you can see what's going to happen in Parliament. I have no doubt about it. The opposition parties is going to pick up on this also. I mean, to go to the extent of refusing even to release the report where they had promised they would do it at the national conference is a severe indictment. Let me tell you what, there was a media report that said that Integrity Commission report of the Integrity Commission, it wasn't released, but let me tell you, it was leaked to the media. And apparently it was a bit scathing and critical of Ramaphosa. I won't be surprised that is the reason why keep on, and this is Mbalula who talks about organizational discipline. Can you believe it? Where is the discipline? The Integrity Commission's report that was supposed to be discussed and debated at this conference. It's just outrageous, really. And I think we're going to have in completing the agenda for tomorrow and Friday. Really, it's going to be too much of a rush, and I won't be surprised it also negatively impacts on January the 8th on Sunday.
Yes, because how do you go forward on January the 8th providing a statement about the state of the ANC when you haven't been able to conclude your conference and key policies? I mean, if you're saying to me that it's probably going to be a rushed job, if I can call it that, what does it say about the seriousness of discussing these policies, including the matter of Phala Phala? Because from my understanding, it seems as though Fikile Mbalula alluded to the fact that it has been referred to the NEC. But at the end of the day, this is a matter that needs to be dealt with and addressed with within the ANC. So what is this going to say about January the 8th statement? It's probably going to be a rush. It's not just the Phala Phala policy, Mr. Harvey, and I'm sure you'll elaborate on this, but there are other key policies that the ANC needs to discuss. Our economy is in tatters. What are they going to do about job creation? There are a number of things that they need to still discuss, isn't it?
Yes, no, the Phala Phala scandal doesn't go to the heart of policy. The Phala Phala scandal is a major scandal that has rocked the ANC. And I can tell you in some respects, Heidi, the Phala Phala scandal, with all due respect to Ramaphosa, is in certain respects even worse than the Nkandla scandal that docked the former president, in certain respects. But you're right. You must remember the ANC's 2017 so-called radical economic policy proposals was supposed to be carried over, and a decision had to be taken, for example, in the Reserve Bank of nationalizing it or extending its mandate to include, very importantly, employment creation in the midst of a jobless bloodbath. Those decisions had to come out of a decision taken about what they're going to do, because they never implemented, Heidi, the 2002 policy resolutions. There are many other things, but I'll tell you the one thing that is a lingering and continuing lie. You can see what happened at the conference. This notion of renewal has been kicked in the butt by the ANC at what happened in Nasrec. Can you believe it? You can see even Ramaphosa, when he was delivering his political report, Zuma's late entry calculated to just, mess up things, etc. So where is the renewal? I mean, there's little evidence, it's just a blatant hypocrisy, really. The continual theme of renewal flies in the face of what is happening in the ANC. And really, I don't know whether they're going to be able to, get something positive out of the remaining 2 days, tomorrow and Friday. They're sitting with a very serious set of problems, and that's why I'm not carried away. And it seems the ANC is, and Mbalula in particular, with the victory of Ramaphosa, I call it a Pyrrhic victory. The December presidential re-election, well, he's got another 5 years. But if you looked at what he's dogged with all the crises, including Phala Phala, it's a Pyrrhic victory, because it doesn't resolve all the major problems confronting Ramaphosa and the ANC. And finally, the country, And so we have to see what's going to transpire, Haiti, tomorrow, and particularly the January 8th statement. I'd like to see what they have to say, regarding that, because they set themselves goals in January 2020. The 8th statement set themselves goals. That's why you must measure the January 8th. Did they fulfill it? And I can tell you, I looked at their goals for 2022. They have not at all, by far from it. So we've got serious problems, Heidi, and we have to see what's going to happen tomorrow and Sunday.
Mr. Harvey, you touched on something that I think speaks to the heart of what could possibly be transpiring. There's clear divisions within the ANC, and I think that was evident on everybody's screens during the ANC elective conference, where you could see those divisions. For example, you mentioned the late arrival and entrance of former President Jacob Zuma and the reaction to all of that. I want us to maybe speak about how the divisions are at the end of the day translating into the state of the ANC, but also into the state of this country. At the end of the day, promises have been made to the voters of the ANC, South Africans, who do not have basic services. And we're talking about basic things like water, sanitation, infrastructure, things like that are just non-existent. Almost every municipality is deteriorating and is on the ground. Would you say that this state of the ANC, its divisions, is its main focus and trying and a political infighting, and they are neglecting the actual real cause and reasons that they should be fighting for, and that's to better the lives of South Africans?
Yes, Heidi, for your information, I'm a columnist at News 24. On Friday, I deliver the column which deals exactly with what you're saying, Heidi. our basic services, the townships are in the worst condition ever. It should be the top of the ANC's policy decisions and review, etc., to see what has gone wrong, to get to grips with the township crisis. We have the worst service delivery protest. You know, we're the protest capital of the world. But you won't find it. You won't find it. I can tell you now, you won't find it. The ANC completely keeps away from the root cause of the township protest. And that's partly why it goes on from one year to the next with the protest capital of the world. And look what they did, Heidi, also. Why did they choose Mangaung, the birthplace of the ANC? Can you see this organization has got serious problems? Mangaung is under administration because of the factionalist rivalry and hostilities within the ANC. Mangaung didn't have an electoral conference, Heidi, together with Cape Town. It shows you it's in a shocking mess. And there, Ramaphosa and them decide to go to Mangaung, you know, and there's a municipal manager's report that says the stadium where they were going to have the rally is not fit for purpose. Mumbalula said he's talking nonsense. They've got a report now that it's fine, etc. Heidi, can you believe it? Going to have this January 8th statement it's only of symbolic significance. I tell you, a very big mistake the ANC has made to go to Mangaung. It's one of the worst regions in the country. It's a total mess. Corruption, chaos taken over. I mean, you can imagine Mangaung is under administration. What does it tell you? And there the ANC goes off to Mangaung to have it. That's this organization idea, you know. Who can make sense of the ANC?
I think it's disgraceful. I really do. I'm being a journalist on the ground every single day and seeing how people are made promises and they are just never fulfilled. The conditions that people live in, I fail to understand how the ANC has not understood the seriousness of this. But thank you so much for your insights. We'll just see. I think the next couple of days are going to be rather interesting to see how the ANC pulls that off. That was political analyst Ebrahim Harvey.